Part 1, Unit 9, Gateway. The Internet allows information to flow more freely than ever before. We can communicate and share ideas in unprecedented ways. These developments are revolutionizing our self-expression and enhancing our freedom. But there's a problem. We're heading toward a world where an extensive trail of information fragments about us will be forever preserved on the Internet, displayed instantly in a search result. We will be forced to live with a detailed record, beginning with childhood, that will stay with us for life wherever we go, searchable and accessible from anywhere in the world. This data can often be of dubious reliability. It can be false, or it can be true but deeply humiliating. It may be increasingly difficult to have a fresh start or a second chance. We might find it harder to engage in self-exploration if every false step and foolish act is preserved forever in a permanent record. Exercise 1. Unfortunately, setting only big goals can feel overwhelming, because they often take a lot more time and energy than smaller goals. So break down large goals into smaller, more digestible and manageable chunks. As you achieve each smaller goal, you'll feel inspired and motivated to continue with what is left to ultimately achieve the larger overall goal. Each smaller success will bring you a great sense of accomplishment and tremendous happiness. Maybe you want to spend more time with friends. Maybe you want to increase the time you spend on a favorite hobby. Or maybe you want to increase your time meditating or practicing yoga. All of these, although seemingly small, are valid and worthy goals. Sometimes smaller things in life bring us the greatest joy. Exercise 2. Dramatic play provides a risk-free stage where children can explore and experiment with ideas, test and evaluate their skills, and add to and change the environment in their own ways. In role play, children act as if they are someone else, imagining and weighing possibilities. This helps them analyze situations from different perspectives. Pretending to be someone else, with all the gestures, actions, and language that involves, gives children practice thinking divergently, as they consider different things they can pretend to do. After they have decided what and how to play, their attention shifts to staging the play they have planned. Their thinking becomes more convergent. Creativity and innovation rely heavily on divergent thinking. But to accomplish goals, convergent thinking is also necessary. It's no wonder that research shows that young children who spend a good deal of time role-playing have high scores on measures of creativity. Exercise 3. Under Roman law, there was a time for the coming of age of a son. But the age when this took place was not fixed as one might assume. Rather, the father had the discretion in setting the time of his son's maturity. A Roman child became an adult at the sacred family festival known as the Liberalia, held annually on the 17th of March. At this time, the child was formally acknowledged as the son and heir by his father, and he received the plain toga adults wore in place of the toga with a narrow purple band at the foot of it that children wore. He was then conducted by his friends and relations down to the forum and formally introduced to public life. Exercise 4. Not only do we tell stories to remember them, the opposite side of the coin is also true. We fail to create stories in order to forget them. When something unpleasant happens to us, we often say, "I'd rather not talk about it," because not talking about it makes it easier to forget. Once you tell what happened to you, you will be less able to forget the parts of the story that you told. In some sense, Telling a story makes it happen again. If the story is not created in the first place, however, it will only exist in its original form. For example, in a form distributed among the mental structures used in the initial processing. Thus, in the sense that it can be reconstructed, the experience remains. When the experience was a bad one, that sense of being in memory can have annoying psychological consequences.